Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 391. We're getting so close to 400 episodes. It's so amazing, and I can't believe that number is coming. Amazing. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. We are live in Southwest Florida for episode 391 of Create, Share, Inspire podcast. And we are in my incredibly beautiful and tropical backyard this morning. I had a few things to do here this morning and something to do after the podcast. So the timing, I didn't have enough time to get to the beach this morning. Plus, I think I hurt my calf yesterday while riding my bike there. So I thought I could use a day off from riding my bike as well. Anyway, never a bad reason to spend time in my backyard though, and I'm so glad you all could join me. Hi Barbara, Sally Ann, Lisa, Denisha, Nancy, Mar. I missed a bunch of names, so sorry. Hi Cherie, hi Grace. So glad you all could be here. Good morning, Marty. Thanks, Lisa. I love my backyard too. Hi Lydia, thank you for being here. Yes, happy Wednesday to you too. Hi Lily, glad you could be here. Hi Jan, good morning. Hi Judith and Thea, welcome back. Hi Kay Beach and Chantel. Oh, Jill says, when I say good morning to everyone's names, it reminds me of Romper Room. That's cute. Hi Joe. Hi Yolanda from Spain. Welcome. Hola, good morning. Hi, Christine and Dee. Thanks for joining live. Good morning, Kimberly. Wow, so many people joining us this morning. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Some names are new, some names are familiar, but so glad you could all be here. If you're new to the podcast, please feel welcome to say hello. I know that I speak for myself and my moderators. We would all love to say hello to you, and I know that our community here is so friendly, and I know lots of people would like to greet you as well. Hi Joe. Yes, Joe, it is a very beautiful day here. It's very bright, as you can tell. The color is totally blowing out my face, but whatever. I don't care. Anyway, one of the reasons that kept me at home this morning is I was going to try to do a little more of a photo shoot for the Layers Knit and Layers Crochet pieces. I wanted to add a little more photos to the book, and I had a complete styling fail this morning, and I was hesitant to share it with you, but I think it's also important I know I like to focus on what looks good and how things look good, but sometimes it's an easy mistake to make to say, oh, well, if that looks good, then this will probably look good, and some things don't. So what I wanted to point out is that there are certain types of layers that require fitted layers underneath in order to be attractive. And there are other layers that you can wear over not fitted underneath layers. Let's see if I'm saying this right. And you can cinch those to still give shape to your body. And one of the mistakes that I made this morning is this dress, and this is one of the dresses from my Amazon shop that I love, and it's a silhouette that works really well with my curvy shape. It comes in at the waist and has this wrap kind of fit in the center. And even though it comes out to a full skirt, I feel put together because it comes in at the waist, and there's a separation from bust to waist to hips. Not saying it makes me look skinny. I'm not skinny, but I find this to be a good silhouette for my body shape. Now, having said that, there are certain layers that can accentuate that when you're layering pieces on top, and there's certain ones that don't. And a lot of times when I wear looser over layers, I wear really tight under layers for that tighter silhouette. And one thing that I wanted to point out is that the shrugs, the Jillian shrug from Layers Crochet and the Desna shrug from Layers Knit, these look fantastic over fitted jeans and a fitted top underneath, where you can see that solid silhouette underneath. And I'm not saying you have to be skinny to do that. You just need something smooth and tight. Now I want to show you how with a fuller skirt that it does the opposite. It actually takes me from looking, I feel like I have a curves and shape in this dress, and I feel like I turn super blocky as soon as I put this on. It's like it hides that curve and fitted shapeliness. I look a little more rounded. I lose my shape is what I'm trying to say. So I don't find this to be attractive at all. I think it's because of the skirt. I think because this layer is larger, I think everything else needs to come tighter. Like, imagine if the skirt was more fitted like that. Yeah, if the skirt was more of a pencil skirt, look at how much that changes the silhouette, and all of a sudden that the shrug looks better. And I'll do that with the other shrug too to show you the difference. So I came out here to do photos this morning, and I took a look at them and I went, no, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna show you this one again now too. And now, so like I said, love wearing this over a fitted top and slim fitting pants. But imagine also if you wore a dress that was fitted throughout, it still looks super cute and you don't miss your shape. But as soon as you wear it over a fuller skirt, I'm not saying it's a bad look, I'm saying that for someone that wants to accentuate their shape and not hide their shape, you get lost once you wear a looser layer over something that has a lot of looseness in it. Let me see if there's any questions before I go forward, because I'm going to show you a piece that does work over this after saying all that. I brought the Sally vest with a belt, and I'm going to... Thank you, Barbara. The dress is really beautiful. Yes, the dress is beautiful and the shrugs are gorgeous. And I could tell you 15 things in my closet that would make the shrugs and my body still look good. But I just thought it was interesting to point out the contrast between a full skirt and a fitted skirt. Look how quickly I get swallowed up by the shrug. No, Marnie, it's not easy to see that in the mirror. And I got to tell you, it's not really easy to share faults on camera and publicly either. But I'm doing it because I know it will help other people too. And what's the point of putting 50 hours into making something and putting your hard-earned money into buying beautiful products if they don't end up making you look beautiful in the end? Nobody wants to go through all that work to look frumpy, right? If we want to hide our bodies, we can hide it with baggy t-shirts. But on days when we want to accentuate our curves and accentuate our natural beauty, we don't want to hide it under things we worked really hard on and then look frumpy. So I thought it was really important to share my disappointment in my photo shoot styling this morning. I'm sure that there's at least one person out there who will benefit from me embarrassing myself on camera. Embarrassing myself on camera. That reminds me, I've got a funny story to tell you guys this morning. Yes, Lily, it's important to know our own bodies. And like I said, what I'm showing you today won't apply to someone with a different body shape than me. Not necessarily. Some of it, yes, but not 100%. Anyway, yesterday, some of you may know if you get notifications or you've subscribed to my channel already, you'll know that I uploaded a new video tutorial last night for the Meadow Crochet Poncho, which I have been showing styling tips all week at during the podcast. So I did the video yesterday, uploaded it last night, and when I was filming, obviously there's bloopers, right? Nobody speaks perfectly 100% of the time. And so while I was taping it yesterday afternoon in my studio, at one point I was trying to explain that this is really an easy concept. It is a scarf, because it's two-dimensional, just a flat piece with a giant buttonhole in the center. And I don't know if I stuttered or just got caught up on my tongue, but somehow the middle syllable was removed from buttonhole. I don't even know if I want to say it out loud. So, you know how enthusiastically I talk sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it's just a scarf with a giant butthole in the center. And it wasn't so funny when I did it. I was like, oh, I made a mistake. And I quickly regrouped, knowing I could edit it out. Knowing I could edit it out when I was editing last night. But as I'm watching it, watching the playback last night, I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. So I called Marlon out and I made him come watch it with me. And we laughed so hard. I mean, I'm laughing still just thinking about it. What a ridiculous thing to say. And it was too embarrassing to share the blooper in social media today, but I thought I could at least tell you guys the story. Anyway, so funny. So you'll hear me describe that in the video, but you'll hear me describe it as a buttonhole. So if you watch the video, I go over how to read the pattern in the beginning. Then back and forth throughout the tutorial, I explain how to read the chart, and then I follow that up with doing the stitches in the yarn. So we go back and forth between crocheting and reading the chart, and then at the end of the video, I show you the styling tips of wearing the poncho 6 different ways. So it really is a full-bodied video. It's a little over 30 minutes long, but depending on what you're interested in seeing, whether it's learning how to read the pattern, learning how to read the charts, learning how to crochet the stitches, or having a one-stop place to see all the styling tips, it's really got a lot of information in there. So hope you enjoy it. Save it in a playlist so you can come back to it, because you might even want those styling tips for other projects down the road. I think it's really handy information to have. Does anybody have any questions before we move forward? I think people are getting invited to Australia this morning. Yay. I want to go too. Good morning, Janet. Thanks for joining live. A couple of questions went by, but they went by too fast. I couldn't get to them. I'm sorry. If your questions are important, please come back to the podcast when it is a recorded version, which is roughly 45 minutes after we end the live stream podcast. And those comments I get notified about throughout the day, so I have the ability to not only see those lost comments, but then I can reply to them too. And I work on replying to all of those comments throughout the day. Few days this week, there was a glitch with YouTube and I couldn't reply to them. Actually, what was weird is that I was replying to them, but they weren't getting saved. So it looks like as of last night, my replies are working again. Okay, so next I was going to show you a contrast of wearing a layer over the top of this dress that's fitted, and show you how much different. So it's not that a dress like this can't have a layer, it's just that those layers didn't work. So first I wanted to show you that the Sally vest also a two-dimensional scarf shape with 2 buttonholes in the center, not one like the meadow poncho. So we're going to throw it over our shoulders. One thing that I love about this particular one is that the top has sleeves, which I think if you're wearing a sleeveless overlayer, you really have to have sleeves on the underlayer for it to work. One way you could do this is to now belt it, and all of a sudden, I mean, look at that. This is actually a bigger piece than the shrugs, but look at how it doesn't take away from my shape at all to be wearing it over the top, and that's with the belt on it. So then we could also tie it. And one thing that's nice about tying it with the front flaps is that it raises the back flaps, so instead of them being long, they're now like now have a horizontal hem across the back, and again, also very figure flattering. I could go even a little tighter or even a little lower to catch my waistline. Try to do it under, if I did it under my bust and try to catch part of my waistline, it actually will show some of my figure again too. So you can see that that's also not nearly as frumpy as the other one. Okay, so we are going to turn it upside down now and put the long side on top, which will make the shrug shorter, or the vest shorter. So you'll see it's shorter in the back, which is fine over a full skirt. That's good too, because you're getting to see that there's a separation between waist and hips and bum. Also showing shape, opposite of frumpy. And you could play around with the collar here and pull it down. You could pull the whole thing forward and tie it. Yeah, let's try tying the whole thing at first. We're also going to belt this one too. You could still belt it this way. But yeah, wearing like a little ballerina top like that, super flattering over a fitted dress. But I'll show you, you could also still belt this one. And you could play around with that collar now, because that collar ends up being like a shawl collar. And because of the incredible drape on this, I think we could even roll it down over the shoulders or gather it up. You could even cross it over more like a wrap style, like that. That's even cute. Yeah, imagine if your dress underneath had too much cleavage showing and you wanted to cover that. I think this would be a fantastic way to cover cleavage for, you know, depending on where you're going. Don't always want to show everything, right? Good morning, Butterfly Kisses. So that's the Sally wrap, and that's also in layers crochet. I know, Butterfly Kisses, I haven't mentioned the birds this morning because I've been chatty, but they are amazing, aren't they? Yes, Thea, assuming you have cleavage, you would want to cover it in some garments. But even if you don't have cleavage, you don't want things to be low cut. I mean, you can, even if you don't have that cleavage line, low cut tops are still inappropriate regardless sometimes. So, so that's a nice way to cover up a top that maybe is too low for your comfort level when you leave the house. Well, Thea, I gotta, if you're mentioning it, some things I think are important to share though, because I do think it's important. Oh, Nancy, if I could sit out here all day, I would. This is my favorite place. Gosh, I don't know if I'd hate to say that this is my favorite place over the beach, but it is so close. And some things are so much more peaceful and private to just be back here too. But one of the most amazing places in the whole world for me. Oh, I have something else to show you today. So those of you that are new to the podcast, I haven't talked about this in a while, so maybe this would be new to you, and if not, I have new product in stock, so it might interest you as well. But those of you that are not aware, I have been making aromatherapy body products for myself for years. I am so interested in aromatherapy, which is the study of the health benefits of essential oils. And also anytime I can make a product that doesn't have excess processing or doesn't have a whole lot of chemicals in it, it's really important to me. So that's why I cook from scratch all the time, and I rarely buy prepackaged foods because I like knowing what goes into my food. And gosh, I want to say maybe 10, 12 years ago, I read an article that said, you know, your skin is the largest organ in your body and it's a sponge. So if you're so worried about what you're consuming this way, don't you think you're consuming horrible chemicals this way too if you're not paying attention to the ingredients on your body care products? And I went, whoa, that freaked me out. I went off the deep end, which I always do when I get really curious about something new. And I came to a point where I decided, okay, you can't fix everything and stay in a budget at all times, right? There's some things you have to be moderate about. You can't always be so gung-ho on everything. So I decided that shampoo was something that wasn't practical for me to make myself. Soap wasn't something that was practical for me to make myself, but lotions and things like that and moisturizing type products were things that didn't involve chemical processes and were something that was relatively easy to make at home. So I have a company who does make organic bar soaps for me out west, and they're amazing. They come in all sorts of amazing essential oil scents. Did not bring them out here this morning, but you can see them on my website. And I also make a face cream called Be So Young Face Cream, and it has the most amazing scent. It's a combination of essential oils that I put together that are all beneficial to the skin, come with just centuries of throughout history, people have been using these essential oils to tighten the skin, to reduce wrinkles, and to smooth out the skin, and all sorts of things. And it's in a base of mango butter, which also has tons of medicinal purposes. And you can find information on the cream and all the medicinal purposes of the ingredients on my website. I also make a body balm that is amazing. It's called the Healing Balm. It is fantastic for dry skin. It eliminates painful chapped lips on contact, and it's wonderful for sore muscles. It's a combination of essential oils that I put together that are good for nerve pain and muscle pain, and even that topical pain reliever that helps dry, cracked skin. So if you want to find out more about the ingredients or the medicinal purposes of the ingredients, or check it out more, this is called the Healing Balm, also on my website. And I also make a sensual massage candle, and it is so awesome. It's a candle, but it also has massage oils in it, and it has essential oils, all the aphrodisiac style of essential oils, so all stimulants, and it smells amazing. And this is available on my website too. So if anybody has any questions about those products, I'll post links to them in the video description, and then you can go read testimonials from different people, as well as the ingredient lists and the medicinal purposes of the ingredients that I use. It's really interesting. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Oh yeah, I have that organic brown sugar body scrub too. I did not bring that out here this morning, but that's another amazing product. Really great for just rejuvenating your skin. It's safe enough for your face, great for rough spots on your body, but just smooths everything out. Yes, Cherie, face creams for all skin types. I would really recommend checking the ingredient list and making sure that there's nothing that you're allergic to first. It's all natural, but it doesn't mean that natural things can't be allergies to some people. So just double check the ingredient list to make sure it works for you. Hi, Hugs the Lady. Yeah, they smell amazing. Yeah, Christine, make sure you check the ingredients first. Make sure there's no conflicts with medicines you're taking or anything else. I mean, even natural things can cause effects in your body. It's not just chemicals. I mean, everything works differently with everybody, especially if you're on meds. They may counterbalance with things, so you want to make sure you're safe and careful first. But I just thought I'd mention those this morning because I haven't talked about them in a while. I use them every day. All right, don't see any questions. If you like the podcast, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. It's the best way to find out when I have new videos uploaded. And if you want to join me live for the podcast in the morning, please click that bell notification button right next to the subscribe button. And then you'll want to follow up with checking the settings on your phone to make sure you're allowing YouTube app notifications. And then you'll get notified the second I go live every day. You can join in the fun live conversation. Oh, I know, Joe, the birds are amazing this morning. Kitties are fast asleep, but the birds are so cheerful and vibrant. I love them. Does anybody know what kind of bird that is? I don't know. I think there's a couple different kinds today, though. So gorgeous. Can you see the plumeria blossoms? Yeah, there's the plumerias. Thank you, Cherie. I could not be happier with this backyard. It is more than I dreamed of, and I'm so grateful for it every single day. All right, well, it doesn't look like we have any other questions at the moment. I will try to put links in the video description for all of the shawls that I showed today and the products that I showed. But if I've missed anything and you can't find anything or you want more information, please don't feel shy. Please leave a comment in the recorded version of the podcast because I will help you out if I can. Also, if you go to my website, there's ways to contact me there and ways to contact customer service there. Okay, so I brought some journals with me this morning. I have volume 1 and volume 2 both in my bag right now. Not sure why. I'm not even sure which one. I think I want to go with number 1 today. So we're going to flip and see what page we land on. These are my Create, Share, Inspire notebooks. They have 31 days of writing in them with a curated list of my favorite inspirational quotes opposite each page of writing, hopefully to inspire you or motivate you or just entertain you. I love inspirational quotes, always have, and they've always been so good for me to lift me out of a negative mood, to motivate me and inspire me, and just, I don't know, recharge my batteries. Oh, this is from one of my favorite authors. This is from the author Florence Scovel Shinn. She wrote a book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, which is, gosh, I think it's over 100 years old now, but still one of my favorites. Has great classic advice, life advice that's timeless, and doesn't matter that it was written 100 years ago. I mean, some things are a little weird, right? She talks about streetcars instead of automobiles, and that's kind of funny too, but her life advice is amazing, and I love her perspective. It's a little religious, but I think that even if you're not religious, you can definitely still glean a lot from it. Anyway, this is a quote from Florence Scovel Shinn, and it is, "Giving opens the way for receiving." Love this. I am such a giving person by nature, and I feel like I totally believe in this, but something that my 40-something-year-old self will say about it that my 30-something and 20-something self probably wouldn't have is that it's still important to have healthy boundaries. You can be too giving to the wrong people and too giving in general and end up just being sucked dry, right? When you're too giving, there comes a point when if you don't have healthy boundaries, it can be not an asset anymore, but a detriment to be too giving. But I enjoy being giving so much, and it brings me so much joy to give to other people that I've found a way in my 40s as a healthier human being now, thank goodness, that I know I'm more aware of boundaries and how to establish healthy boundaries with people so that I don't give too much of myself without waiting for a symbiotic situation where I'm receiving too. I hope that makes sense. But so I'm just giving a little extra to her quote today, or a little extra to what it means for me. And I feel like something compels me sometimes to say these things out loud, because I'm sure some of you are overly giving like me. I can't be the only one. So let's read this again. Florence Scovel Shinn, "Giving opens the way for receiving." And it does, because you can't receive without having an open heart, right? And as you're giving, your heart is open, and I think it's the best way to prepare yourself for receiving. Your heart is open, you feel good, you feel joy for helping other people, and that's how you can receive from others too. You have to be happy on the inside first, right? So my little disclaimer was just for people that fall to that little side like me, but in general, giving does open the way for receiving, and it's so... Yeah, the woodpecker agrees with me, that's right. God, I love nature so much. Yes, happy on the inside first. So when you're happy on the inside first and you have healthy boundaries, then giving is absolutely the way for receiving, right? Be vulnerable, be brave, be giving, and then you'll be open to receiving. Thank you, Florence Scovel Shinn. That's such a good one. Does anybody have any other questions for me? I know, Anna. All good things can be hard to do until you get used to them, right? It's hard to learn advanced technique in crafting. It's hard to learn an advanced technique in cooking. It's hard to learn advanced concepts in foreign languages. And it's hard to learn new things emotionally. You know what it takes? Practice. That's it. That's it. Thanks, Lisa. I'm glad you liked it too. Yeah, Lydia, I have no regrets either. I've been a giver my whole life, and I'm very proud of it. I love being a giver. Sally Ann, great questions about how to store my wrap shells and vests, and I have a video coming soon to explain that. I'm going to go in really depth about it, so I appreciate your question, and we definitely will come back to it. So thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, my demos, fails, and successes at styling different types of clothing. Hope you enjoyed the nature and our bird friends and our little woodpecker friends. If you have any questions, please always feel welcome to leave them for me in the video description or in the comments below. And if you need to find any links for what we've talked about, they're all going to be in the video description below as well. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll